Hello and welcome, Inspired Podcast community. This is your new episode. My name is Caroline, and my today's guest is Amanda Hengst. I hope I pronounced it right. Welcome to the show. How are you today?
I am so good. It's such a pleasure to meet you, and it's such a pleasure to be here today.
Oh, thank you for saying yes to our podcast interview. And I want to introduce you, of course. I forgot. Oh my God, where is my here? You are, your journey is one of strength and purpose. And after overcoming immense challenges, including escaping a cult and sex trafficking, you spent 8 years advocating for change and dismantling trafficking rings. This is amazing. You have to tell us more about that. And now you created a company. I suppose I think it's called Inquiry, and you use your unique perspective to amplify your strengths with powerful content and compelling copy while addressing any weaknesses with your consulting services. I'm so happy that you tell us more about that and what inspired you to do this.
That's a great question. It's kind of cool because it seems like those are a bunch of different things, but it actually all comes down to one thing, and that is communication and connection. So when I was very young, even when I was being raised in a cult, I was not allowed to communicate. As a woman, I was not allowed to talk much. So I turned to writing to express myself. And, people would say being raised in a cult is bad, but it actually gave me such a gift because it forced me to write constantly, made me a great writer. And then that led me into my business now, Inquiry Co., which is a copywriting agency. So we write for many businesses, many entrepreneurs. We help them with their ads, with all their words. All the words on the internet is what we have, and we do a lot of scripting as well. But it all comes down to communication and connection for me.
Wow, I love that. So you would say communication or connection happens through language and language or words, because words
Mhm.
can be verbally expressed or in writing.
Yeah, words are just one part of it, though. Even our facial expressions, even our tone, even the way we interact with the camera, right? We're communicating so much. Everything behind you is communicating a lot about you. Everything behind me is communicating a lot about me. So it's about taking it and bringing it all together in a way that makes sense and in a way that completes a complete story. And not just words, but words are very important, of course.
Yes, it is. I heard someone saying words create. So they create your reality by thoughts or, or
Yeah.
words as well. I love that so much. And of course, words create an image in the one who reads it.
Mhm.
Okay. Wow. And what inspires you to to get up daily? What inspires you daily, like in general?
Just that I know that I have been given a gift to write, and I know that I have perspective and insight that helps people become more successful. So if I have that gift, it's my responsibility to give it. And there are a lot of people in this world that need that. And I want to help good people become great and help good businesses become great. Because if I can get more money in the hands of good people, then there's going to be more good in the world. So that's what inspires me. That's what really drives me to get up in the morning.
Wow, thank you for sharing. And now I have the right word. By I like that you introduced the word responsibility, because I always say when it comes to gifts and talents, which are unique for every person, I always say you have the duty to share it, but
Mm.
I don't like the word so much. But you know what I want to express as non-native speaker. And now responsibility, you have the responsibility, and that sounds like empowerment. You are empowered to share it. There are people thinking, oh, who am I to do this, down talking or inferiority complex. But as you shared it now, it makes totally sense. So thank you so much. Okay,
Yeah.
my next question is, who inspires you? Do you have coaches and mentors for yourself? And who was the best coach you ever had?
Goodness, that is very loaded. My husband inspires me on a daily basis. He's someone who is very consistent. And I have not been a very consistent person in the past. So he inspires me to show up every single day. And I love that about him. He keeps me anchored in the good stuff, anchored in the present and in current reality. So it helps me be here now, but then also if I'm here now, I'm able to plan for the future as well. So he inspires me. As far as coaches and mentors, I've had a lot. Everybody needs coaches and mentors, and sometimes you outgrow them. That's totally okay too. Sometimes coaches and mentors are just for a season, but the two that have stuck with me consistently throughout the years has been, one is Heather Parody. She's a brilliant content creator. She's a COO consultant as well. And then the other one would be Donnie Bovine. He runs a network called Success Champions Network, and he is a brilliant communicator and networker. And they have been with me since day one, just encouraging me. Will pick up the phone anytime I call them, support me emotionally, in business, everything. They've been very incredible people that have been consistently and they don't ask anything from me, right? They just consistently show up and give, which I'm so insanely grateful for.
Oh, I love what you shared. Thank you so much. For me, I don't know these two people, let's say. I will look them up, but I love what you shared about the, can one say approachability? I don't know if this
Yeah,
word,
that's
they
a
are
good one.
approachable. So when you call them, they are always there for you, or you said they pick up the phone. And there are mentors and coaches in the world, they are not doing this. Of course, they can decide what is included in their services, but I would prefer that sort of coach. And also I think it is connected to your business, because you are all about connection, right? And about communication, and this is what shows up for you. And yeah, thank you so much. I learned something already. And my next question is, how do you inspire other people?
Oh, man. I hope I inspire other people to um, be bold and to go after what they want, because life is very short and we don't know if we have tomorrow. So today, go after what you want. It is. I feel like people make it seem difficult to get your dreams because they don't want somebody else to outperform them, or maybe they're scared. But actually, going after your dreams and getting everything that you dream of is very doable and very achievable if you just focus. Um, and it is really simple. It's just very monotonous sometimes and very boring. So we think of dreams as this big, beautiful thing, right? And it is, but the journey there can be quite boring, can be very tedious, can be very monotonous. Um, and people get confused and think, oh, this isn't the dream. Well, yes, it is. It's the steps to get you there. So I hope that I inspire people to stay in the daily grind and in the daily fight, because it is worth it. It does pay off.
Oh, thank you so much for sharing. It's exactly what I listened to this morning. It was by Dr. Joe Dispenza. No, I'm not kidding. When he talks about boredom, and when you want to change yourself into the new personality, which has the goal achieved, for example, or then you are repeating stuff, the new stuff over and over again, and that becomes boring. Or what you just said, the word, I pick up one word, and I associate with what I know already in my vocabulary in the English language. And it's so amazing what you shared. So thank you so much.
Of
I'm so
course.
by that. Okay, next question is, and we talked about this earlier. My question: what are your gifts and talents?
I am gifted at copywriting and
Mhm.
communicating through words. So that's like my main, super obvious. That's the one I market and sell, right? My secret gifts and skills is, once someone brings me into their business to do the copywriting, to create the content, I'm able to identify all the areas in the business that need strategies, that need systems, that need operations, and I can actually help grow their entire business. So lots of people just hire me to write for them, but then as I get into it, they're like, "Oh my gosh, I need you to help me run my business and help me make it better." So like I said earlier, I help good people become great, and I help good businesses become more successful.
Wow, I love what you said. You said the word system.
Mhm.
I thought about strategy and order and structure, something like that. And
Yeah,
and also connecting the dots means you see the greater picture in the company, and you
yes.
see, for example, where there's no connection in the communication between the company and the clients, maybe the prospects, let's say
Yeah.
prospect or the target group.
There's
Mhm.
multiple communication facets happening there. There's the communication with your potential leads that aren't your clients yet. There's the potential with current clients. Then there's communication within your teams to make sure you're able to deliver on what you said you're going to deliver. So those are all just as important as the rest of them. And a lot of times people forget that, or they're new entrepreneurs. So they've started to build their business, they've hit a certain level of success, but they forgot to build the systems that they need in order to go even bigger. So then that's where I come in and help them kind of piece it back together, make those connections so that they can keep scaling.
I have another thought about that. Thank you for sharing that. When you introduce the word system, that means there is a system. So it is not like, oh, it happened by accident or I don't know what to do. It is something you can plan and implement, and you know how to do it. You help others. This is so amazing. Thank you so much. My next question: do you set goals for yourself or intentions? And what is the goal or a project for 2024?
There's a lot. There's a lot. I actually have the background of my phone is my vision board. So I
Mm.
took a bunch of pictures off of Pinterest and created a collage on Canva and then made it the background of my phone so that every time I open my phone, I'm looking at what I want. And one of those goals is to be a multimillionaire by 40. So I've got 5 years to do that, which should not be a problem. Um, I have very, numbers oriented goals as far as metrics I want to hit, properties I want to own, all of that good stuff. But the main goal is to really put a dent in anti-sex trafficking or in sex trafficking and to make real sustainable change. I have stories of things that I've done that have been great. I have a lot of beautiful, great moments in my life. I don't want to stop creating those moments. I don't want to live on yesterday's win. I want to live on today's win. So that's my goal every single day is to impact a life for the good, for the better. If I can just help one person, change one life, inspire one person, then I've done what I've set out to do.
Yeah, it's already done. Thank you so much. You inspired me a lot today, and I'm sure all the listeners as well. Did you think about writing a book, publishing a book or something? Or do you have a book
I
already?
have a couple books. They're kind of random. They were random in the middle of the night because I'm a writer, right? So in the middle of the night, I'll write a book and push it out. I have a journal called Subconsciously Conscious, and it teaches you how to reprogram your subconscious mind through journaling, through manifestation. So that's on Amazon. And then I wrote a short horror novel as well as a random thing, and that's called Down the Road. But I also am a ghostwriter for a lot of individuals. So I'm constantly writing books for others, connected to a lot of publishing companies. But Subconsciously Conscious just came up the other day. Somebody messaged me and said they'd ordered it and how much it impacted their life. So I would say, yeah, check it out.
Yes, definitely. I will put the link in the show notes, of course. And what else? I want to say something. Yes, about the ghost writer. I have to ghost writer, that's the word, but ghost writer, it's difficult for me. So ghost writing, I know it from the scientific, when you write, I don't know what, thesis or so. Then you are writing, you have people, for example, writing their biography or
Mhm.
fiction or what is it?
I'm not a fiction. I've never done fiction ghostwriting before, though many fiction writers use ghostwriters. I write books for entrepreneurs. So one of them's over here. Good friend of mine, Bobby Castro. I wrote his book, Outliers. So it's usually their story combined with their methodology or the way they approach business and in their niche in their industry. And so I'll work with them. I'll do interviews with them, ask them a bunch of questions, get a bunch of stories for them, put it together in a book, and now they have a book. So usually ghostwriters don't get their name on the book. So that's why they're called ghosts, because you don't really see them. But for that reason, we charge extra up front because we're not getting the recognition nor the royalties in the back end. So depending on what the writer needs and where they're at financially, we'll either do a ghostwriting or we'll do just a writer or a supportive writer role for them. But either way works for me.
Oh, that's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing. It's new to me. And I have another question. Do you use AI technology for that?
Oh,
Or in general?
definitely. Definitely. I think a lot of writers are very hesitant and very anti AI. And I think that's the dumbest thing you could do. It's a very valuable tool. You should not be relying on it, but it does help to get your first draft going. Or if you hit a writer's block, it helps to kind of inspire things. It's great for research. It's great for prompting. It's great for very basic editing, but it always does need a human touch at the end. Do not trust AI to do all the work for you. That's just silly. And with AI, it's all about the prompts. So if you put terrible prompts into it, you're going to get more terrible stuff out of it. But if you put good prompts and ask good questions and give it good information, it'll give you good stuff back. It's just knowing how to use it and correctly and responsibly.
Wow, thank you so much. Yes, this is true. It's all about skills, learning something more, giving more value. I mean, to yourself, like gaining, and then of course it shows in the prices you charge as well. It is how it is. And now my last question, and this is good. And my last question is, when people reach out to you after listening to our podcast episode, mm, do you have special offers and services for the inspired podcast community?
Definitely, definitely. I have a couple PDFs I would love to give out depending on what they need. So if they want a framework on how to write ads, I can give them that. If they want framework on how to write social media, I can give them that. And then right now I've just opened up, and nobody knows about this, so you're the first to hear about it. Last night, I realized I needed to bring on some writers to my team. So I'm actually offering a course at a very discounted rate to where I will train the writers everything I know, work with them one on one for 6 weeks. And then after they graduate, they will be given a job offer to come work for me remotely. They don't have to come here, but work remotely for me and for my company as one of my writers on my team.
Oh, that sounds fantastic. I'm the one checking this out for sure. Your offers and services. And thank you so much. Of course, now is the time for your last message to the audience.
My last message to the audience: don't talk yourself out of your dream. Don't talk yourself out of it. It's worth it. Everything in your heart was put there for a reason, and that's for it to be fulfilled, not for it to be denied. So pursue it with everything you've got, and don't give up.
Thank you so much. This was really encouraging for me and the audience. And yeah, I see you in the next episode.